Yes, yes.
Thank you. Hope everybody can see the screen as well. So let's start. So I just go quickly where we stop in the last lecture. So we are trying to find out the format. So initially what we did, okay, we understood the order of the formats are not in the same way how the physics explain. So the item A, you can see this is the first item that you are going to measure the value of the work done as per the contract, then variation, day work, provisional sum, everything will come in a first segment. Then, yes, we identified there are the changes in legislation and changes in cost. So changes in legislation, okay, and there are three scenario we discussed. Scenario number one, but we understood if a changes in legislation result or going to result only the cost or price change, that means the increase or decrease, then this is going to be under the segment one. Okay, this is a segment one, first one. Scenario two, what we discussed. Now, if the changes in legislation not going to impact the cost, but it is going to impact the time, then it's going to be under the prolongation claim. So it will go under the claim. So it will be go to the below segment. And the third one, if the changes in legislation resulting the delay and additional cost, then definitely it will come under the segment 1 plus the below segment. Okay, then we study about the retention. So retention we discuss under the bond. So when we talk about the retention, yeah, it is going to be in the format here. So retention only applicable in the contract, original contract price. Okay. So yes, that's going to be E. So with the variation and these changes in legislation and changes in cost as per the FIDIC, because if the FIDIC says clearly what it is should be considered when you are calculating the retention. Then we go and we study about the plant and material, where we understood the plant and material, okay, will be here. But we know should have the approval if you are going for a material on site or off site. So there are so many sub clauses we discuss about this. Then we went to okay claim. So we already know the claims already we discussed, because it's going to be a subjective if sometime the item C here maybe come under the claims. Otherwise, the claims we have the sub clause 20.1. So now you understood the segment 1, and finally we talk about the advance payment. So when talk about the advance payment, okay, it goes to here. So initially the advance payment will be on the accepted contract amount without provisional sum. Okay, so regarding the advance payment, we discussed already in the separate lecture. So we don't want to repeat. It will become again if you don't attend. But basically, the advance payment originally accepted contract sum without the provisional sum, because provisional sum we don't know. Maybe the client may be instruct or not instruct. Therefore, you don't pay the advance payment for the provisional sum amount. Only the amount without the provisional sum you are going to pay. So that is, we say F. It is not connected here. Okay, we have to calculate that and put. Then the recovery of the advance payment. So when come to the recovery of the advance payment, the FIDIC say 10 percentage you are going to pay the advance payment, but recovery 25 percentage, because you remember I told in the last lecture, if you keep the more percentage, only you can recover the all the amount. Therefore, the recovery percentage is 25 of what? E. E mean this A plus B plus C plus D plus J. J is plant and material and the K. What about retention? Can we recover the advance payment from the retention? No, isn't it? It is not. So therefore, why I put this one? This is a very simplified format I have done because it is in a good order. It do not confuse. Now forget about the FIDIC what it says. We have now format. So I will show you the format finally. The total interim payments certified till date. So you are going to have the cumulative amount. So that cumulative amount you are going to calculate. Then previously certified payment you are going to deduct. Then the balance payment become due for this time. Okay? So that's the way this IPC format hidden within the FIDIC. Now to show you the format, okay, I go to the IPC format. This is a format we have for a interim payment application or certification. Yes, okay. So to make your life little bit easy, okay. Now you can't see the screen. Don't worry. I just make it off. Now people are in a different country, isn't it? So I'm going to share. Let's say okay. So this format already we have. Okay. So this is a ready-made format. You can use it. You can connect it. Okay. So yeah, automatically this format will give you the number whichever you are entering here. So live format. And the formula is here. Okay. So anyway, don't worry. I have the different currencies like I have the dollar, pound, Kuwait dinar, Bahrain, Omani Riyal, Saudi Riyal, Qatar Riyal, UAE Dirham. So you'll get all of them. If you want to how to change them, then there's a command. You see here, you see the dollar. So if you replace that one, it will be replace the currency. You understand? Control F, replace that unit, it will replace everything. So it is now make your life a little bit easy, isn't it? Yes. And also some information you can see now, like you are going to put the project name, contract type, subject, date must be very important, logo, right? And the maybe contract package detail. Okay. There is a payment application sometime go revision, right? It won't happen one time. Maybe you do the revision. So if the revision happen, then yes, you have to carefully, yeah, you have to carefully, you know, mention which revision it is. Yeah. So how you feel? This is a good format for you, right? Isn't it? So I will send you all automatically this format. Okay, so you will receive them. Now let's go to the place where we stopped. Okay. So now this is a sample certificate, and now regarding the performance bond and the security, which is you've seen in the last part of the slide, it will cover under the bond. Okay, so I just put because why you must know this is part of this lecture, right? It's a bond, right? Because why I put about the bond? Okay, there's a reason you don't get paid if you don't give the bond, right? So there are so many sub clauses we discuss under the bond, right? So whoever attended the bond, okay, particular lecture, then it is already covered. Can you all remember that one? Those people don't attend, don't worry, it will come to you in your timetable is there already, right? So now we understood the simply the format of this FIDIC. Okay, so is it clear the format, everybody? You got it now? So I will skip. Okay, I don't want to just round around. So it's a simple format now, simplified format. Okay. So now let's go to the last module of this lecture. Okay, lesson 3 actually. So what we are going to discuss today about the final things about the payment. Okay. So yes, when you are going for a job, this format does not include the text. No, text will come at the last. Text where those things won't come here. That you do separately. Okay, we don't do. That is a business concept, isn't it? So once you calculate this amount, then you can do those calculations, just adding the percentage. That you can do separately. Or what you can do, you know the Excel, isn't it? Go here, add the line. Okay, whatever the certified amount, you can add one or two line, and you can put the percentage here. It will change. Then automatically that will calculate. Do you understand? Okay. Okay. So let's go and see some more things that we want to learn today. Okay. Some of them we already covered. Anyhow, it's going to be a final session for all of you. So now when come to the interim payment certification, consultant duties are, you know, not easy. Okay. So you have to know how to certify. Now we understood what are the things you are going to, check. And also, and also you must know, okay, how to deliver your rights and obligation as a contractor or as a, you know, employer or consultant QS. Do you understand? Okay. So let's go. There are three things we are going to focus. One is the interim payment application or certification, which is happening during the project time. Then we are going to have a discussion about the statement at completion. That means when you got the taking over certificate, then you are going to apply for a statement at completion, right? Okay. Then you will go for a final account. Okay, once you got the discharge letter. Now, what we have done so far, the format, right? We understood the format, but you must have the sense. Okay, in the format, which is in particularly for IPC, we understood. Okay, when it is go for a statement at completion, what are the things will cover, or final account, what are the things cover. Okay, by the contract practice learning, we learn those things. Okay, therefore, now when it come to the interim payment certificate, okay, who issues, okay, when you are going to issue and how you are going to issue, this is very important points. Okay, or sometime why you are not going to issue. Okay, tell me when you are not going to issue the payment certificate. Anyone? Do you remember something? This consultant won't issue the certificate. If what happened? Okay, report missing. Yes. Okay, but any strong reason? Contractually, any strong reason? Bond. Which bond? If the performance bond, right, is not given, you don't have the right to do that one. You can't consultant. You can't do that one. Okay, so we learn those things. So issue of interim payment certificate. So what are the circumstances? Engineer will not issue the interim payment certificate. Okay, you have to give the performance security. Okay, and also the second thing, there are sometimes they mention, okay, minimum amount. It have to reach the minimum amount. Okay, so the minimum amount must be reached. So what FIDIC refers here, no amount will be certified or paid until the employer has received and approved the performance agreement. That we know under the bond. We learned this one, right? And second, however, prior to issuing the taking over certificate, that means when come to the taking over certificate, that is different. That is a statement at completion. But through the IPC, throughout the IPC, the engineer shall not be bound to, okay, issue an interim payment certificate in an amount which would, after returns and another deduction, be less than the minimum amount. So that means, yes, you are going to, yeah, you are going to be a careful when you are going to certify. Okay, this one. So careful. Okay, sometimes this subclause may be not apply. Okay, it doesn't matter. You can certify. Otherwise, you have to carefully. Okay, you have to carefully make sure this amount that you are going to certify for a particular period. Okay, reach the minimum amount. Okay, then. So that's clear. Typical sequence of the payment event. Now, in the clause 14, if you all go, the contractor submit the statement to the engineer, then the engineer issue the interim payment certificate. There's a time bound, 28 days, within 28 days from the submission. Within the 56 days, within the 56 days from the contractor submission, the employer make the payment to the contractor. So this timeline is very important, isn't it? If your contract doesn't have this timeline, can we make someone bound to do this work? They will say, we don't have the timeline to certify. The employee will say, no, I don't have timeline to pay. I will pay whenever I am ready. That's not a right. So it's a one of the boilerplate clause. Timeline should be there. Like a variation. Now people doesn't have the variation timeline, isn't it? Within the contractor okay, how many days within the contractor have to submit the variation? Within how many days when the variation clause, that means the work's actually completed. Within how many days? Okay, the contractor must give the final proposal, and within how many days engineer must approve. Oh, they have to give the command. That should be there. So if you are missing the timeline, then that's going to be a problem. So this is the interim payment certificate, right? Now when come to the final payment, okay, the contractor submit the draft final statement to the engineer. It's a draft first. Then engineer verifies. Okay. Then contractor submit the final statement and the discharge. Okay. Statement mean what? We have the meaning of the synonym, right? What do you mean by statement? Statement at completion. Right. I mean the payment. Actually, the synonym here, payment. Similar word. The contractors submit final payment, actually final statement, and discharge. That means done. No more things. Okay. So if that happen, okay, from that engineer issue the final payment certificate within 28 days from the contractor submission, and employee make the payment from the engineer certificate 56 days. So look at this timeline for a final payment. The timelines are different, yes, because the interim payment from the contractor submission, employer had a 56 days, but in the final payment, okay, the contractor submit, then engineer had a 28 days maximum, then 56 days. So that timeline you have to be careful. So if you work for a contractor or engineer, check your contract has the timeline or not. Yes.
So
The payment is, yeah, go ahead.
So you are saying that first for the final payment, we are submitting the draft. Then within how many days we are going to submit the final statement? Is there any time limit or?
let's say, you are talking about the final account, isn't it? The very last payment, right?
Yes, very
Yeah,
last payment.
this one. Okay. Now, what we have to do, you know, you are in a defect notification period. It is going to end, right? Let's say after 1 month, it's going to be end. So don't wait until last moment. Give a draft to him. Okay, you give a draft. Maybe take the comments, try to approve, agree in principle everything. Now, when the performance certificate give to you by the engineer, immediately within 1 or 2 days, you know already the draft. You send them. You don't wait them. Okay, you don't wait within the days. Okay, you don't do, because you have the provision like whatever the contract say. Your contract say within how many days you can submit. Don't wait until, because you are going to get delay. Once you get the performance certificate, next day you give the final account. You keep the document ready. So from there, the engineer, okay, maximum 28 days. Maybe if they are already approved your draft, they can agree within 1 week or within 1 day. If it's already a approved draft, okay, without any comment, then it is no need to wait 28 days. It will be go. So once the engineer give the certification, from that certified date, the employer had a maximum 56 days. But again, you don't need to wait until 56 days. You can, issue the payment early as well. Okay,
Sir,
you understand?
my question is, if the engineer purposely delayed the, what we say,
Breach of contract,
accepting the
no?
final draft,
No, breach of contract, no? There's obligation.
is there
You
any
refer
time
to this.
frame?
That's what I'm saying. The sub clause it's mentioned, the timeline.
Here, so in the subclause, it is only mentioned after we are submitting the final statement and discharge letter, right?
Yeah, if
For
you
that,
don't submit, then he is not delaying. Actually, you are delaying, isn't it?
no, sir. I'm saying if I am
Hmm.
submitting a final draft to the engineer, but
Yes.
there is no time frame for him to review the document, right? So if
Hmm.
he purposefully delayed the, what we say, accepting the draft as a final statement,
Hmm.
so the entire time frame will be delayed, right?
No, 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 not like that. Either he approve or not. Okay, you have to submit. Then you ask him any comments. He say, let's say he keeps silent. You submit the same thing to him again. You don't delay. You let him to come back, because he has a contractual obligation. Now within this period, if he come up with any comments or some correction or some clarification, you have to clear it.
Okay.
But he can't say I can't certify everything. Let's say you are submitting the 100 million claim. Let's say as a final payment. Okay, everything is clear, but he had some suspicion about the 5 million. He can certify the 95. Okay, 5 million, maybe he can't come to an agreement. Then maybe it goes to the dispute, but you have to get paid this 95 million without any problem. Okay.
I have one question regarding this one. Any dispute is coming, okay, that time the time frame will be increased. For example, performance certificate issued, but the dispute is still open. So in this case, how we finalize is the final account. For example, the
Yes.
claim they submit some claims.
Hmm.
This claim is still is a dispute, so
Hmm.
it's not finalized. So in this case, if it is happened, so how we finalize the final account? We final account draft. They submit the contractor is submitted, but we are not agree with the claim.
Yeah. Okay. You remember in the one lecture last one of the lecture we discussed about the suspension and termination. So there we see in this slide also that's there. Now, you know, there's some content we are going to see in the upcoming slide, which we already discussed. Let's say there's a claims, okay, and they are not agreeing. It will go for a litigation or arbitration. But what I'm trying to say, they cannot keep all the money because of they are not agreeing their particular claim. Do you understand? Let's say your total claim is 100, including the way, variation, actual work based on the contract, okay, or approved claim. But there are some person like percentage like a 5 million out of 100, where the parties having the disagreement. That only they can hold, and they have to wait until it gets settled. Then remaining payment must be go out. Payment on account doesn't have any percentage. Whatever the engineer determination, he will pay. So basically, what engineer will do? Let's say you have the 5 million claim. Out of 5 million, you have validate around 1 million, so he can pay 1 million. But 4 million he will not, because you have to prove the things.
So until that time only we issued. This is the partial, not final. Am I right?
Yeah, in that case, yeah, it mentioned clearly. Then if you have any unagreed amount, then it's not going to be a final account. It's going to be another interim payment certificate. You understood? It says in the FD clearly. So we'll see that one. So all of you go to the subclause 14.6. Okay. So according to this subclause, under which circumstance an IPC shall be withheld. Okay. If anything supplied or work done by the contractor is not in accordance with the contract, the cost of the rectification or replacement may be withheld. You can't hold all the amount, but there's some amount you can hold it. Is equal to the rectification or replacement cost. B. It says the contractor was or is failing to perform any work. Okay, or obligation in accordance with the contract. That means he is in breach of contract and had been so notified by the engineer. The value of this work or obligation may be withheld until the work or obligation has been performed. Okay, so this is not going to be like normal. The contractor not performing well, don't launch the 15.1. I told why 15.1 is not a solution. Anyone remember?
Because it will trigger the 15.2, which is termination.
Yeah. Yes. So don't do that. Let's say you do the instruction, he is not following. Again another instruction, he is not following. Now you decided, okay, he is not obeying. That time you can launch the 15.1. That means it will trigger the 15. Otherwise, notice to correct you can't use basically. So this is the way the consultant will hold the amount. Okay. Other than that one, you don't have any provision to hold the amount. Now, what kind of payment the employer shall pay to the contractor? Now, go to the 14.7. Okay, here, this subclause. Employer shall pay the contractor the first installment. Basically, the first installment is advance payment. You know what is the provision, right? To get the advance payment, you have to give the bond, you have to give all the contractual requirement before you claim the advance payment. Okay, so I know you people noted already previously the requirement to get the advance payment. So first payment is advance payment. Okay, upon receipt of the performance bond, advance payment bond. Okay, everything according to the contract. Now second, interim payment certification within 56 days after the engineer receive the statement. So from the contractor submission, that means the engineer receive from there within 56 days. That is interim payment certificate. Now we understood the interim payment certificate, you have the minimal amount, right? If that not reach, then you don't certify. That was clearly said in the previous subclause. In the C, the amount certified in the final payment certificate, which is a very, very final, within 56 days after the employer receives the payment certificate. That means only that final, he got the 56 days purely from the certification. Whereas in the IPC, he got 56 days from the contractor submission, actually from the engineer receipt of the payment application. So this timeline, be careful. Maybe you check your timeline, okay, whether any changes in your contract, maybe they change. Some contractor, he will negotiate. Don't keep my money for a 56 days. I want the payment as soon as, okay, like, 1 or 2 weeks. Yes or no? Because of to increase the cash flow. Or sometime the client will take advantage. No, no, I will not pay you for a 56 day. I will take another extra time. So it is up to the parties. Once we agree, that should be followed. Okay. So payment of the amount due in each currency shall be made into the bank account nominated by the contractor. So normally there is a currency they are using. That currency should be considered when you are using the payment. Okay. So now could you explain the difference between the statement at completion and final statement? What is that? You people know already, isn't it?
Yeah, this is end of
Payment at
the.
completion is the payment application we claim once we complete the work, and the final statement we submit once we finalize for the variations, back charges, everything, and final account. Then we will submit as a final statement.
Okay.
I did not understand.
Statement at completion is given to employer after taking our certificate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is your question?
I did not understand what do you mean by minimal amount.
Minimal amount. Okay. I will put you mute. Now we can hear very clearly. Look, what is the minimal amount? Let's say the contractor and the employee will agree. If your interim payment certification value, let's say less than 1 million or half million, like they will agree a certain amount, then we will not pay that particular amount. We will wait for a amount that reaching more than that. So this is fine for interim payment certification, not for a statement at completion or final statement. Regardless, whatever the amount they have to pay, but it is only to avoid the workload. They agree like this. So there will be a minimal amount. Now check your contract whether is there any such a provision available in the contract. Most of the time, maybe the contractor will negotiate with the employee. Don't put this sub clause because it's going to impact the cash flow. So sometimes this sub clause may be not applicable for your project. Maybe yes. Okay. So how many of you have this provision in your contract? Okay, good. Sometime no. So check it. Now we know there's a one requirement. 14.8 delayed payment. So this clause we discussed so many times. This is the main root cause for all the problem, right? If the contractor does not receive in accordance with the subclause 14.7 the payment, the contractor shall be entitled to receive the financing charges compounded monthly on the amount unpaid during the period of delay. This is normally contractor don't charge it from the client, okay, to keep the good relationship, but it give that provision. You have to, like, what is the meaning of this particular sentence? Let's say if the employer paying you 1 million timely, let's say he's paying by timely. Now you took that money and put it in the bank. Will you get the profit from the bank? Yes, you get the profit from the bank. So since the employer didn't pay timely, let's say 1 month delay, assuming that you put this money in the bank, that profit employer must pay to you. Okay, that's what they are trying to tell. But mostly, okay, financing charges sometimes it is okay in Sharia law it's interest. So some contracts the employer will remove that one. But some contracts still that is available. So it's like a 50-50. You will see, okay, this kind of sub clauses in your contract. So how many of you have these sub clauses? How many of you don't have these sub clauses? Say if you have yes, say if you have no. If you don't have, say no. If you have, say yes. Okay. It is subject because interest, isn't it? This period shall be deemed to commence on the date for the payment specified in the subclause 14.7 payment, irrespective in case of its subparagraph B of the date on which any interim payment certificate is issued. That means once the 56 days over, it's count. So unless otherwise stated in a particular condition, these financing charges. What do you mean by unless otherwise stated in a particular condition? Sometimes this subclause may be not considered. These financing charges shall be calculated at the annual rate of 3 percentage points above the discount rate of the central bank. So you have to take the central bank rate. Okay. And then you have to use the same currency. So the contractor shall be entitled to this payment without formal notice. This is a one claim. Okay. There's a one more claim also coming without employer had a one more claim without notice he can claim. Like a water, electricity, this consumable, he can claim without notice. Similarly, the contractor also claimed the delay payment interest without any formal notice or certification. Okay. So now, other than the financing charges, what are the other rights? An action does the contractor have that can be implemented in case of delayed payment? Can you all answer this question? Everyone, you know this one. Already you attended the suspension termination, so you know.
Delay the works outside.
Oh, tell me the right wording.
The speed of the work can be reduced. Execution of the
Tell me the subclause reference to this question. Tell me the subclause number. That's all. Just number. 16.1. Good answer. Yes. Contractor's entitlement to suspend the work. What else? Is that only? Termination. You have to tell me the number. 16.2. Termination by the contractor. What else subclause connected here? Due to delay payment. One more subclause. Note down, okay? 16.1, 16.2, and 20.1. That is the answer. Okay. Have you all note down? You should know, okay, when you go for an interview and when you are really working in an industry, you must know this by heart. Okay, that's why I told you to keep a note in the FIDIC. Whenever you're reading, you know what are the subclauses connected. So 14.10, statement at completion. So here, within 84 days after receiving the taking over certificate for the works, the contractor shall submit to the engineer 6 copies of the statement at completion with the supporting document in accordance with the subclause 14.3 application for interim payment certificates. Okay, so you know this is we learn already, right? Anyway, we'll continue. The value of work done. You know what is that? Any further sum. 14.10, any further sum. Have you marked anything about that? Any further sums? Have you any marked in the FIDIC? What do you,
Any claims?
claims? Yes, very good. Note down. Okay, any further sum means a claim. Note down that is. It's a claim. Okay, that's what any further sum which the contractor considered to be due. So that's statement at completion. I will go and see the format again to you. The statement at completion, we have the value of the work done. Any further sums? That's a claim. Further, it's a statement at completion, right? Not a final account. So further, an estimate of any other amount. Okay, what do you mean by estimated of any other amount? Further claim, future claims, which is ongoing. Okay, or ongoing variation or something additional task or additional cost.
Any
Okay,
penalty?
yeah, whatever. Okay, the contractor considered is still okay on discussion. He can put. So A, B, C, these all. Okay, so B and C, you can say claims simply, which the contractor consider will become due to him under the contract. The estimated amount shall be shown separately in this statement at completion. Okay. So you have to note down. I think this subclause already repeated somewhere before. Okay, just we are repeating. It will cover because under the different lecture. Now clause 14.11. It is application for final payment certificate. Do we have any other payment hereafter? Is there any other payment hereafter once you call for the final payment certificate? No. That's what you have to give the discharge letter. So within 56 days after receiving the performance certificate, within 56 days after receiving the performance certificate. Okay. That means the performance certificate is needed. Contractor shall submit to the engineer 6 copies of the draft final statement with supporting document showing in detail in a form approved by the engineer. The value of the work done is very clear. Any further sums? So look at the 14.10. We have the ABC, right? Yes or no? We have the ABC. Almost same. But here in the 14.11, we have only A and B. C is no longer. Why? What is the reason?
There will be no any future payments. This is the final one.
Yeah, you don't have any estimated amount.
Finalized.
Yeah, it is finalized because no more estimation. Because during that statement at completion, we have that C. Here no. So do you understand now? Let's go back to our this one. Okay, here. Do you understand here? When you go for a final account, now do we have A? Tell me A or no? Do we have the A?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we have the A. Now maybe we might have the B because some variation maybe not agreed during the interim payment. Okay, we can go for it. Yeah. Now, what about CD? Do you have CD? What do you think? No. Claims will be there. Okay, that will be there, but not CD. What about F? Do we have anything F here? Advance payment and the recovery, nothing. All done, isn't it? This is all done. What about retention? Do we have? Answer carefully. Do you have retention?
Yes, 5%.
50%.
Balance. Yeah, 2.5 you can say. That means if you are having 5%, then 2.5 will be remain. That should be go. So release of retention will come. Okay, not deduction. You have to release. Material on site. Do we have material on site or off site?
No.
We don't have. Claims definitely yes. So claim will be there are two separate claim. One is okay, you are claiming which is already incurred. The second one you are going to claim which is going to be incurred. Okay, everyone keep the mic mute. There are some people having the noisy background. Okay. Now what about recovery of the advance payment? This will not come. So do you understand? you can use the same format, but you can remove some unnecessary item. So this format will helpful for you. Clear? For a statement at completion as well as for a final account. But this format not just connecting like a single page. This will be connect with the BOQs. Okay, but I just give you the template because I don't have the BOQ. So I don't have any BOQ. Otherwise, it will be connected. Do you see that variation file I shown to you in the last lecture? Have you ever seen that one? It is connected, right? There are so many files are connected. Likewise, this is also connected with the so many files. Like it's connected with the contract works. It's connected with the variation. It's connected with the claims, or it's connected with the recovery calculation of the retention and the advance payment. Connected with the material on-site or off-site records. So everything is there. There will be number of steps. Okay. So that's the reason 14.11 we got only 2. Okay. If the engineer disagree with or cannot verify any part of the draft final statement, the contractor shall submit such further information as the engineer may reasonably regard and shall make such changes in the draft as may be agreed between them. The contractor shall then prepare and submit to the engineer the final statement as agreed. This agreement, okay, this agreed statement is referred to in this condition as the final statement. So that means final statement means once you agree. If not happen, let's say you got a fight, you don't agree this some amount, then it is not a final statement. In that case, however, if the following discussion between the engineer and the contractor and any changes to the draft final statement which are agreed, it become evident that okay, a dispute exists, the engineer shall deliver to the employer with a copy to the contractor an interim payment certificate. Okay. So what do you mean by here interim payment certificate? What do you mean?
This is not a final.
Did you read this subclause? However, if the following discussion between the engineer and the contractor and any changes to the draft final statement which are agreed, right, which agreed, it become evident that dispute exists. Did you notice something here?
It's not final yet.
Okay?
Which are not
It's not
agreed,
final yet.
I think.
We cannot agree.
Not agreed, right? There should be a one word should be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you all note down? I just noted here. Okay. Just note down. It should be not which are not agreed. Okay. Just add the not. If it is agreed, there is no dispute, isn't it? It's not agreed. So here you add the wording. Okay, everyone. Which are not agreed. It can happen, isn't it? All human being. Okay, so the engineer shall deliver to the engineer a copy with a copy to the contractor and interim payment certificate for the agreed part of the draft final statement. Thereafter, if the dispute is finally resolved, okay, whatever the reason, okay, amicable settlement or then contractor shall then prepare and submit to the employer with a copy to the engineer a final statement. So until the problem is resolved, you can't have the final statement. Okay, so here you are issuing the taking over certificate. So once the issuance of the taking over certificate happens, as a contractor, you don't wait 84 days. Next day, you are going to submit the statement at completion. You keep ready. You don't wait 84 days. Let's say one intelligent quantity surveyor working for that project, he want to submit by 84 days. What do you think about that guy? He's not doing right job, isn't it? He just wasting the time. Don't take that much time. Unless otherwise there are some problem, no problem. You whatever the documents you have. Okay, some people having the noisy background, please keep the mic mute. So look at this. You must understand there are some time you are not able to submit the complete document. Possible, no? Some document missing, some reports are you are not able to find. No problem. Whatever you have, you submit. So what he's going to do, he's going to review and he's going to pay whichever he can agree. The remaining you can settle it later, whenever the document's ready. Do you understand? You don't wait. Yeah. You don't wait until okay, you find all the document. That's not practicable sometimes. Even the claim also. Let's say you have the big claim like 100 million. Let's say 50 million documents you have agreed and documents are there. Take that money first. Remaining we'll see later. So now statement at completion and the defect notification start. So now do you understand this is a very important points I have to tell you. Defect notification period will start from when? Okay, let's have that proper wording.
Your certificate.
When?
After taking our certificate.
Okay, but when?
Uh,
Okay, that's what you didn't understand. Okay, I will tell you. Then let's say the contractor now requesting the taking over certificate on this date, whatever the date. Okay, TOC is requesting. Request. Okay, engineer issue the TOC by okay that means the issuance of the TOC by the engineer. Let's say okay here the second milestone. Tell me the DLP or defect notification period will start from first or second?
from first. From first.
This is what I am trying to test everyone.
Engineer issued the taking over certificate, then only the defectivity period is started.
It will be on the second, because that day it will be the issue date. So from the issue date, and then the
Okay, except the one person answer, all answers are wrong. Okay, okay. So I will clearly mention why. All listen. Okay.
Sometimes the engineer issues the TOC in the backdate as well.
Okay. Now can you listen, everybody? Look, this is a place many people will be do the wrong. So all of you did the same mistake. I put purposefully this first and second. Now let's say practically the contractor did the work and he know he is going to complete the work by let's say now okay 1st of January. Okay, 1st of January he is going to complete the work. He know already plan according to the plan he know. So he will prepare every document and he will request the engineer to come and do the taking over certificate by this. Now when you request the engineer by 1st of January, do you think he doesn't have any other work to do? He don't need to do any pre-arrangement. He will come next day to or immediately when you send the letter, he will come and attend the taking over works. What do you think? He need a time, isn't it? So he will do some documentation. So he need to arrange the time. So let's say he is coming on 10th. Okay, he's coming on 10th. to a work, site, and he is doing all the testing, commissioning, all the reporting, everything's done. Now he is going back to the office. Do you think he will issue the letter taking over certificate by tomorrow? He need a time to prepare. So what he will do now? Let's say it's the 30th. Okay, 30th of that month, January. He done all of his homework. He make sure everything is fine. Then he will mention in the TOC, okay, which date he is going to consider as a taken over. Maybe it could be a 1, or maybe it's from 10, or maybe somewhere else. So you can't say it's from 1, or it is from 2, or it is from in the middle. Look at the wording in the FIDIC. It's always mentioned the date stated in the taking over certificate. Have you read that word? That is a very right answer. Why I am putting this question? Many people going for an interview. Assessor know your weakness. If they ask this kind of scenario question, you are able to fail simply, isn't it? That means they know you don't know this work. So you are not that sharp enough to answer this question. So now this is a scenario. Everybody understood what I am saying here? The date stated on the taking over certificate. Let's say you done with the defect notification period. Okay, DNP is finished. Now he want to give the performance certificate, right? Do you think next day he will give the performance certificate once the DNP over? No, he will give you later, but date he will mention when it is given. The date will be inside the certificate. It is not the date you request, or it is not the date he issued. It is inside. Okay, note down if you forgot this point. So now let's continue here. Now I got, I think many people got the clarity. So from here, issuance of the performance certificate will come. From there, within 21 days, okay, the employer must return the performance security, and within 56 days, final payment certificate should be given from the certificate. Okay, so the application will be made within 56 days, then the 28 days engineer head, and from there, okay, engineer issue the final payment certification, and to 56 days employer got purely, where previously the 56 days where the contractor applying from that point. Here no, he got a 56 day because of the final payment. Okay.
So what about the partial taking over certificate? Some contract is mentioned the milestone 1, 2, 3 like that. So in this case, how we finalize taking over certificate?
Until no, taking over certificate will go for a like a milestone wise or phases wise. Okay.
In this
Now
question,
let's
same
see.
question I repeated for this one. How it will be connected for the TOC date is stated. Okay, which date is mentioned in the contract, but
That
the
will
partial.
no, if you are giving for a partial taking over, that's only for that section only. You can't say for entire project. You understood? Now let's clearly make it simple. Now this is your phase A, or say, you can say milestone A. Okay. Let's say this is milestone B, or something phase B. Okay. So once you are issuing the taking over certificate for this one, okay, once you issue the taking over, DNP will start for that one and finished. And here this one, this particular portion, you can go for a partially final account. You don't need to wait. Now other one you are issuing the TOC later and go here. Okay. So very final account will be here. Right. Very final account will be here. But still you don't need to wait until this period to reach. You can claim them. Because it is going phases wise or milestone wise, you can go accordingly. And you know the retention we understood, no? There's a small mistake in the retention. So the retention calculation also clearly mentioned for a partial taking over. So we can follow the same way. Do you understand or not?
Yes, sir. The final taking over certificate is a last milestone 5. Okay, for example, if the milestone 5 is completed, then only we can prepare the
Yes, yes.
final account.
Final, yeah,
Okay.
correct. Until otherwise, no. But no need to wait for a previous 1, 2, 3, 4 until you claim this 5. If it is finished, you can take that. You have the right for that one. Okay. Now, application of final payment certificate. Contractor submit draft statement. Is it just a mind mapping? Okay, just a mind mapping for you all to study. Engineer agreed. Final statement will go. If not agree, okay, not fully agreed or partially agreed, then the contractor, okay, the agreed part, what will happen? The engineer to employer for a contractor payment. That means the IPC will go. You are going to only certify interim payment certificate. Now, non-agreed part will what will happen? That will go, okay, dispute resolution or amicable settlement. Once done, dispute resolved. Finally, the contractor will prepare and submit the final statement, the final account. So, okay, this is how what we learn till now. Okay, so when you are going for a final payment certificate, the very important point, it is a final payment. Yes or no? That means you are telling final, no more claims. Okay, after you submit the final account, and employer engineer certified and employer paid, now you come and say, no, I forgot something. I didn't claim, I missed to claim. Now I want to claim. Is that possible? No. That is the reason to avoid this kind of issues, you have to give the discharge letter 14.12. So what is 14.12 says? When submitting the final statement, contractor shall submit a written discharge which confirm that the total of the final statement, that means final payment, represent full and final settlement of all monies due to the contractor under or in connection with the contract. This discharge may state that it becomes effective when the contractor has received the performance security and outstanding balance of this total, in which even the discharge shall be effective on such date. Okay, so it's very clear. After you give the discharge letter, you can't claim more. So therefore, you have to claim all the money, right, in this final statement. You miss, you are going to have no other opportunity to claim them. That is the reason we challenge the returns and money recovery. Do you all remember that one? There's no way we can claim that balance 20%. Say 40% and 40% for a partial taking over. How many of you remember that? Okay. So 14.13, issue of final payment certificate within 28 days after receiving the final statement and return discharge. So this is a timeline. We don't want to discuss in the mind mapping is already there. So you are going to, okay, issue. So here, remember, only A and B. There's no C. The amount which will be, finally become due, and the amount which is a claims. Okay. So if the contractor has not applied for a final payment certificate, now the thing is, contractor must apply, within the given time frame. Let's say he didn't apply for a final payment certificate in accordance with the subclause 14.11 and subclause 14.12. The engineer says request contractor to do so, so he can remind. If the contractor fails to submit an application within the period of 28 days, the engineer shall issue the final payment certificate for such amount he fairly determined to be due. Now this is something scenario different. Okay. Now let's say contractor supposed to do this, but he didn't do. Now engineer want to close this one. So he just doing a certification by himself and sending. Do you think if the contractor agree with this, there's no problem? If we not agree with this, then what will happen? It's going to be a dispute, right? It's going to be a dispute. But however, in principle, the contractor supposed to do. It is his obligation pursuant to 14.11 and 12. Okay. But engineer trying to close the project. So some additional information that regarding this payment. If a contractor suspect that employee may not have money to do this work or project, what is your advice? Contractor has the right under the FIDIC, not under the book. Subclause 2.4, all of you go. Subclause 2.4. Okay. Let's understand this first, then you have to take some notes here, okay? Do you have any notes already in this subclause 2.4? Anyone? Okay. So let us understand. Employer's financial arrangement. The employer submit, okay, it's his obligation. Within 28 days after receiving any request from the contractor, reasonable evidence that financial arrangement have been made and are being maintained, which will be, enable the employer to pay the contract price as estimated at that time in accordance with the clause 14, contract price and payment. If the employer intend to make any material change to his financial arrangement, the employer shall give notice to the contractor with the detailed particular. So look at these. Under the FIDIC, there is a provision given. Anytime, okay? Anytime, you say anytime. In the beginning of the project or middle of the project, anywhere the contractor has this right. See, contractor got payment delay. He's suspecting employer doesn't have the money. So he can ask, prove me, do you have money or not? Otherwise, I can't continue with this work. That is his mindset. So that provision given. So the employer is obliged. But who's drafting this contract? Contractor or employer?
Employer.
Okay. So do you think he will keep this clause? Simply he will say not applicable, right? Okay. But FIDIC says. Now let us have some information here. Now, reasonable evidence. What do you mean by reasonable evidence here? What should be a reasonable evidence?
Bank statements.
Yes, right answer. Yeah, so note down here, this is a bank statement. Bank statement, okay, you just note down. Kind of evidence, yes, bank statement. But remember, there are one thing. Now, let's say contractor asking, I need your bank statement that you have money or not. So employer putting some money and later on he is taking after showing the statement. No, this is not what it says. Reasonable evidence that the financial arrangement have been made and are being maintained. So he can keep on asking whenever he wants. Not a financial turnover. Financial statement. I mean, this particular project, they have this kind of money and it's already allocated. Okay. So do you understand? So he can't just put the money and take. Okay. So employer after showing the bank statement, he can't take the money back. or move to other bank or other project. That's not going to happen. He need to. So contractor has a right. He can keep ask anytime. Now let's say engineer fail, the employer failed to give the statement, or he's not giving any proof. What will happen now? Any consequence? Any consequence?
It's a
This is
breach. That's what
subclause number.
20.1. 20.1.
No.
20.
20.1 also will come, but the main hitting subclause, what is that?
16.1.
16.1. Note down. Fail, put the note, okay?
Especially work as a precaution.
Yeah, if he fail, then it will go to 16.1. 16.1 very clearly says, go and read the 16.1, the first paragraph. If the engineer failed to certify 14.6, employer failed to comply with the subclause 2.4 or 14.7, okay, then it will trigger in the contractor entitlement to suspend the work. Okay, so can you note down 16.1? Okay, yes or no? Then claim, definitely, obviously. 16.1 will come a claim, no? If the suspension termination happen, the payment will be there, no? 16.4. Yes or no? There's a ABCD. Sorry, ABC. Yes. When you go for a 16.1, automatically 16.4 will come. In that 16.4, okay, so many times it mentioned the claims, okay, so automatically the 20.1 will be connected. Okay, so have you all noted down that one? Have you all noted down? Yes. Then this is a newly added syllabus, but you already learned suspension and termination and the payment after termination. Yes or no? We done this one. Okay, so that notes I am not going to repeat. So already you people heard it. But why I am putting this one? Because if suspension happen, okay, what to do? How to do the payment? Okay, if termination happen, what to do? So those information already we discussed. So that I took it separately in a different lecture because it is suspension termination. But anyhow, it's part of the payment. Okay, so I hope no need to repeat. So now, do you understand? These are very important subclauses. Now we talk for a payments and variation, and some are for a claims, right? Okay. When I'm preparing these notes, the very difficult part I went through with
Mr.
this.
Munas, sorry, coming
Okay,
back
so
to this point, in regards to this, if the employer can't pay, can we consider negotiation and communication? Like, for example, open dialogue with the employer, encourage the contractor to have a direct and open discussion with the employer regarding the financial concerns.
oh,
Yani this approach can sometimes reveal underlying issues that may be resolved through negotiation, like adjusting payment schedules.
can you describe what you are trying to say here? I didn't get clearly.
In regards to this question that you have asked us before regarding the sorry, can you go back to this page? Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If the contractor suspects that the employer may not have adequate funds to pay them, what advice you should give as the contract administrator? What I'm trying to say is that can we consider negotiation and communication with the employer, like for example, an open dialogue with the employer? Like for example, we encourage
Okay.
the sorry, yeah.
I understand your question. What he's trying to ask, okay, you understood there's no money with the employer. What to do now? That is the things, right?
Yes, but can we consider negotiation and communications? Like, for example, open a dialogue with the employer, encourage the contractor to have a direct and open discussion with the employer regarding the financial concerns. This approach can maybe sometimes reveal underlying issues that may be resolved through negotiation, like adjusting
Possible.
payments.
Possible.
Possible?
Possible. But this subclause very clearly says, okay, under the 16.1, you have the entitlement, contractor entitlement to suspend the work. That means you have suspension. Now let's say you don't want to suspend the work because you want to continue the project. Yes, you can still continue. Okay, with the proper negotiation or understanding is possible. But as a contract administrator, right? You can advise your client, okay, continue the project. Because then you advise project continue, employer didn't pay, how you are going to manage? You can't take the responsible for that employee payment, isn't it? So therefore, that will go with the both business owners, your contractors, that means the top level management and also employer. So there maybe you can negotiate. Now let's say out of box. What happened in previous some project I worked, the contractor doesn't have the employer doesn't have money sometime in the final situation. He's running out of money due to many reasons. According to this subclause, what we supposed to do? We have to do the suspension and termination, isn't it? But what the contractor sometimes do, no problem. Depend on the project, they negotiate. If it is a hotel project, they will say, okay, we will complete the balance project or balance work by funding it. So give us some unit out of this development. So it is a win-win theory, isn't it? So it's a different negotiation, not in the contract. Yes or no? Not in the contract. Is it mentioned in the contract? No. They can do out of box. Good case study as well if you have this kind of scenario. Second, the employer consultant also they are no. Now it's understandable now employer don't have the proper financial arrangement. He is developer actually, let's say. Nowadays the pre-sales are well known in the industry. So you can go for a pre-sales. You can sell in advance. Right. So there you can have some cash flow. Likewise, you can think out of box. But both parties should agree. There's no issue with that. Okay, you got it?
Yes, you cannot always go for termination. You have to give some space for negotiation, some kind of things to keep the project running. It's better for both client and
commercially, yes, you are right. Rather going with the contract provision, yes, we can go for this negotiation. But based on the FIDIC, it doesn't say such scenarios. But still, we can think out of scope because FIDIC doesn't care about the business continuity, right? They talk what is the rights and obligation. But still, as a business owner, you can go out of box. That's fine. So under 2.4, is it possible for the contractor to request LC setup, letter of credit? No. It is not the letter of credit, isn't it? They're asking whether you have the money or not. That's it. What is escrow account? Any relation to this? No, escrow account not related to this. That is the account used for some time. Okay, you don't want to touch the client money. That will be in the escrow account. Okay. Nowadays in Dubai, developers they are putting the money in the escrow account. So even the developer cannot touch it. He can't misuse it. Okay. Any questions? So far everything is good. Okay. For the new batch, you didn't done this lecture. Okay. So don't worry. You see your timetable. It is coming. So we will discuss about this suspension termination upcoming lecture.
Mr. Munas?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Can the contractor request or demand to put any condition in the contract? It is clear that it is prepared by employer, but the contractor has the provision to put any condition in the contract.
Okay. Basically, this contract document prepared by the employer or his agent. But anyhow, as a contractor QS, you must do the contract review, right? You should do the risk analysis within the contract. So once you are going to do the risk analysis, what is the objective of this risk analysis? What you are trying to achieve? We are trying to achieve whether is there any risk or how we are going to mitigate the risk or manage the risk or transfer the risk. Okay, so therefore, once you identify the risk, second, you will note that all the consequence of the risk. Once you note it down, you will discuss with your internal team how to manage. Maybe you can go to the employer and negotiate. No, don't put this sub clause. It will be risky. Or let's amend this sub clause. Otherwise, we can't do this work. Like that, you are going to do a contract negotiation. Okay, so therefore, during this negotiation, sometime if you have different any other sub clauses to be added, you can negotiate too. That's fine. But finally, both party must agree, isn't it? If one party don't agree, then you can't form the contract by force. Okay. Any other questions?
Mr. Munas, can you please explain the difference between the final statement and the statement at completion?
Okay. Instead of statement, put the word payment. Now you tell this question again. Ask this question again, but don't use the statement. Use the word payment instead of statement. Can you repeat this question now?
Difference
Somebody can help me.
And the final
Payment at completion.
Instead of statement at completion, okay, statement at completion, right? So completion payment, you can say, and final statement. That means final payment. So do you understand that now? It's getting some meaning. When you finish the project, that time only you are getting the taking over certificate. That means you are going for a statement at completion of the project. Final payment means once you're done with the defect notification period, then you go for a final payment. That is final statement. So keep somewhere this synonym. Here in the FIDIC, statement mean particularly for a payment. Okay, if you are referring to the statement, that is a payment. Okay, do you understand?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Nunas, can I ask for a statement of completion?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was this clause for the any sum that the contractors see like something like in the first project too. There was this any amount the contractor considers that due to his how is it being applied? Is it
Okay.
can it be a payable statement of completion?
Really, I didn't understand this question. Can you repeat, or somebody can help me to understand this question?
Yeah, there was in statement of completion, right? Paragraph C of that clause. There was
Which clause?
C.
What is the sub clause number?
Let's see, just a minute.
Yeah, take your time.
There was this claim work done at the date of taking over certificate statement. There was this any further sum, and there was also this
I didn't hear the subclause number. What is the subclause number you are referring to?
right. Just a minute.
It's a 14 point. Anyone understood his question?
Can I come again? There was this in the clause 14.10.
No problem. Otherwise, you can come back. No issue.
Okay. Can you hear me now, Mr. Munas?
Yeah, go ahead.
In,
What is the
in clause 14.10c, an estimate of any other
14.10.
amount.
Okay. 14.10.
How does it being applied? Is it payable during the statement of payment application?
Okay. No. You have to put everything because you have the entitlement to get paid. Okay. So let's say A is closed. Okay.
Yeah, this one is
No
okay.
issue.
This is
Now,
about
any further sum contractor consider to be due is a claims. So you know the claim procedure, whatever the particulars are having the records and every contemporary evidence are there. And if the engineer can approve, they can approve. Let's say out of 100%, maybe 80% can approve, and 20% will go under this negotiation. So no issue. This one,
right.
Any further, any other amount, contractor consider will become. Is it happening already? It is due. Okay, the above one due. This is will become. Mean it still not happen or maybe ongoing. So he is giving estimation. This one he will not get paid. You will have the question why he is putting this C. Contractor, the employee must aware know what is coming upon him. Like it is a alert for him, like early warning. And definitely, employer and the consultant knows already they are managing all the claims throughout the project. All the potential claims that's going to happen, or the claims which are ongoing, not yet agreed, that will be in the C. But it will be not payable mostly because it's estimation. It's going to become. Okay.
All right.
So your question. So the engineer will certify A and B only, not C.
All right. I understand. Okay. All right. Thank you.
But when come to the next clause, which is final, here we don't have that provision. Only A and B, no C, because not future estimation. Okay. My voice is not clear. Is it breaking? Everyone having problem?
It's clear.
Okay. Maybe something went wrong in between. Okay. Okay then. Thank you. I have one question to all gentlemen. How many of you use the Teams software for your meeting? One, two, many? Yes. How many of you used Team? Now you people are attending the GoToMeeting lecture, no? Through this platform. Which one is good for a lecture? GoToMeeting or Team? What are you all thinking?
Go to meeting.
Okay, reason?
Yeah, I believe you go for Teams because you know I am a Mac user, so go to meeting is it's Intel core, not Apple, so it's generate heat and lagging, and you know, and team are more familiar, or people are more familiar, and it's
So,
up
okay.
to all people.
So Apple have some
This is
problem.
this is just my opinion because I am struggling with it. You know, go to meeting actually.
I
Same issue.
understand.
I am using Mac and I am facing a problem. Sometimes it's opening in the application, sometimes opening in the Chrome. It make complications in the hearing
So
and display.
good time I didn't have the Mac, huh? So I will have having the same problem if I'm.
Yeah. Go to meeting is Intel pays, so we need some software like Apple pays, like Teams, like WebEx, like you know this stuff. Zoom
But
also.
quality wise, which one is good to people? Okay, that is something a technical issue. Quality wise,
Yeah. Actually, quality I never saw any problem in or face any problem in the quality with Microsoft Team as so far. You know,
mm-hmm. Go
Team is
to
a
so
good quality than Zoom than others, but you are the organizer, so you know more functions for GoToMeeting, which may I miss.
No. I just want you people opinion. So
Mr. Manash.
yeah.
Mr. Manash. Yeah, actually, for Microsoft Teams, for the meeting only auditing, it's clear. But if you use the slides, sometimes it's lagging. It happens in my workplace. If you use the
Okay.
slides or any Excel sheets, it's lagging. So this is much more better. Go to meeting.
Okay. What about Zoom? Is it good?
There is one software called WebEx. It
WebEx,
has
yes.
been actually it has been used by Apple people to do some slides and some meetings. When I went to Apple for heat generation because of GoToMeeting, he suggested that as that technician guy, but I did not use it before. But they are saying it's very good.
Okay, I also never used that one.
Yeah,
Mr. Manash. Yes. Regarding Zoom, I've joined one meeting before. It's actually it's okay, much more better than Microsoft Teams, but still go to meeting is better. I remember we had a course. The guy was using Zoom. His also his slides were lagging. The voice is okay, but the slides there was some lagging. But we can try. Yeah, we can try.
Now we have all the software, but your people convenient is very important. So just that's why I write this question. So thank you all of your opinion. Now I got to know Apple people have some problem with this software. So we will be aware about this in the future. Okay, so thank you. I will meet you all with the upcoming lecture and see you all. Good night. And I will be sending this format. Okay, all together, all of you. This one you will getting by tomorrow morning. So just make sure you download them. I don't send as a file. I'm going to attach them as a WeTransfer. So yes, all of you make sure you download timely. Good night to everyone. See you all.